Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to more The Great Ace Attorney, and today we are going to begin the final case. Resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, we already started on a trial. Huh, okay. 3 days since I last played, but I do think I remember most things. Yes. I do want to apologize for not streaming on Friday when I was planning to stream on Friday. By the way that episode 4 ended, I think it was pretty clear that episode 5 was going to start the trial. And the idea of starting the trial on Friday to then not stream on Saturday and Sunday and then retake on Monday just doesn't work for me. For me, that would be bad for the pacing and blah blah. So I thought, let's just skip it and start on Monday. So we have 4 days to finish this game before the release of Pragmata. And hopefully we should be able to do it. If we can't, on the last day before, I will just keep streaming until we are done. But that's not for us to worry about right now. Resolve Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, no cutscene or anything, I guess. Is it the only trial without a cutscene? Maybe. So the time has finally come. Today we unravel everything. Is there anything I need to recap myself on? Okay. Did we ever... Yeah, we opened and there is a blade here. The passport... With one additional person who we still don't know what this is about. Cleaned autopsy, which is going to be important because at some point in the middle of the trial, we are going to have a sub-trial for the trial 10 years ago. The biggest thing... How are we going to rope Lord Strongheart into this? Do I have... Okay, I've been yelling about Lord Strongheart since the McGilded case. Since the McGilded case. Is there any chance that McGilded is actually innocent? No, right? Because if it's not McGilded, then who? Seishiro? No. Okay, no. Maybe, but I don't think so. We still haven't talked to him about who the fuck is Iris. Maybe, but I don't think so because then the first case of this game doesn't make a lot of sense. But I don't know how much he knew. No, he cannot be the Reaper. But we are not sure that whoever is the Reaper and whoever is the true criminal of 10 years ago is the same person. Strongheart absolutely fits if it's going to be him doing both. No. I still think he's innocent. Why are you not... I fixed this before we started. Why are you not like the way I put it? No. Okay. It could be just a new character, but I do think it's a bit too late to introduce a new character. We'll see. Today, we unravel everything. I'm calling on your support more than ever today, Mrs. Zato. Are you depressed just because you found out your father is cheating on your dead mother? Yeah, your mother died when you were born or somewhere around that, right? Yeah. If he is Iris' father, how old is Iris? 10. You met your father for the first time when you were 6, so not that big. Mr. Tat, of course it's not going to be like... I am joking around, but it's going to be like... Her father died to help her protecting me, and then... I did it because it's the best thing I could do to help a friend or something. It's going to be something along those lines. Mr. Sato. Oh, we haven't seen the Susato takedown in a while. Oh, what's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing. I was just saying that I'll be relying on you, on your support today, but... Oh, I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... As long as you're not giving information from me, I am satisfied. I shall not let you down. Would you please help me... Would you mind helping me to my feet then? Oh dear, I'm really sorry. Susato-san isn't her usual self at all. That is hardly surprising, I suppose. She just found out her father is a partner of our world-famous detective, not to mention... I think this is not the big thing, Naruhodo. That's not the important one. Good morning, sir. Lord Van Zix. In the flesh. Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. Did I hear that correctly? Yes! What? No, nothing, just I hope we can clear things up today. You are never gonna call him out on being racist, are you? I really can't make this man out. His face says I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Van Zix isn't the Reaper, Naruhodo-san. Good point. The Reaper, I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all of this. I mean, didn't you say because you were okay being the missile. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zix. It's only because serious crimes in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that, yeah. That's why I didn't say anything, isn't it? I guess it is good to repeat, since this is a new case, quote-unquote. To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. The having been slain by that evil killer, clinging to the restless spirit, returned as some sort of demigod. Which we cannot discard as an idea. Because we know that spirits are real in this franchise. To wield a deadly blade of justice where I, the dint of the law, could not. Yes, we have heard that story too. When I lost him, I feel as though I have lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. I just have a thought. One of the things that I play around the most in the first game, because I was going to say, what if the Reaper is more than one person? Because in McGilded's case, which is the only one we saw, it wasn't the Reaper who killed him, it was Mr. Jojo. And then I thought, if Miles Strongheart is the Reaper, why would he send us to defend McGilded in the first case? Because if he's the Reaper, he wanted McGilded to die. Because he believed McGilded was a killer, and he needed to kill McGilded. Us being there doesn't help him at all, except maybe because he wanted an excuse to humiliate us, but then he would know that McGilded would have bribed everyone. And then, did he not want McGilded to die because McGilded is friends with him because he is the true owner of that fucking knife? I am not letting that go. Is McGilded dead because of Jojo and the Reaper was planning to keep him alive and it was just... Not sure. Anyways, I feel as though, because like, that's the most... McGilded is the only one we have actually seen the Reaper killing, and it wasn't the Reaper if we assume the Reaper is one organization. He is the outside. Gina and what's the name, Soseki? Soseki also survived it, but they were true innocent people. I feel as though I have lost my guiding light. I don't know where to go and what to do. Oh, sorry, when his brother Clint died, I felt as though I have lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some ways, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I knew it was just an illusion, just some nonsense conjured up by over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you, Lord Clint Van Zix. Well, what is important now is uncovering the truth. That is all that matters. I know you didn't. I know that you didn't take anyone's life, and I tend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in the court today. I never thought I would say this, but I can see in your eyes that burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I cannot deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. And with this, his character development is done. The end of his arc, which is not a bad arc. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, Iris, how much do you know about the conversation? We need to get here. Oh, I brought you one of my special blends. He really loves it. He says it's helping clear his head. I thank you. Oh, that's surely the first and last time we'll ever see a sign like this. Property came early for you, bro. You seem different today, Iris. Oh, sort of subdue, I suppose. I'm not. What happened yesterday, it's obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Sid's laboratory. Alright then, good luck to you both. Sorry, just give me a second. Sorry about that. Let me just check. Alright, good luck to you both. I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying? I thought you want to watch today's proceedings. Well, I like to cheer on you, obviously. But I got lots to get ready. You're ready for what? The plot twist. Oh yes. Would you take this? Isn't that one of the little felt dolls that you usually dangle from your knapsack? Yes, it's a lucky charm. A little Hurley that I made once. Hurley. It looks more like a Harley to me. If for some reason you completely run out of options to try today, then just pull these little Hurley ears as hard as you possibly can. Do you mean like literally doing that because then it's going to open a compartment with a secret clue which you could just give us? No, it's just a lucky charm. Okay, let's not get paranoid. Pull his ears. That's right, it's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. A little doll. Why is it a clue? Why is this a clue? Why is this a clue? Why is this a clue? What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes. You suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably bringing to the poor doll ears. Oh, sorry, I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now? I'm sure that we'll find out when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn some stoic patience. But I wanna know, I don't like this. Just give me the clue from the beginning and let me try to figure out how it fits things together. Please just be an actual just lucky charm. You think that we need is lucky? I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom. And it seems very different to normal. Yes, it would seems. There are certain someone has decided to pull out all of its stuff. Lord Strongheart? Is he Is Kazuma going to be his assistant and he's going to be the prosecutor? What does that mean? What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he haven't come home by the time I left this morning. So another Deus Ex Machina. So we have two bullets locked in for when we need a plot twist. Oh, I see. Was Professor Mikotoba all night too? Professor Mikotoba out all night too, do you think, Miss Osato? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They? Father and Jigoku. Okay, so Jigoku is somehow going to be related to the case. How? Because he wants to prove the innocence of Genshin. So the moment he got here, he starts searching for clues to prove it. And we are gonna need his help when we start having the second case inside the case. That Jigoku too. That's right, nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Calls for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once. Good luck then, Naruno. Good luck, Suzy. Yes, thanks, Iris. And you, Mr. Reaper, I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm glad. You must go inside now, Lord Van Zix. Lord Van Zix has always been the formidable prosecutor I have to lock horns with in the court. But not today. Today, a battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend... Oh, it's going to be Strongheart. Kazuma is not even gonna be there. My best friend Kazuma, who I trust more than anyone else in the world, he's not even gonna be there. Now I understand what it that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny has in store for me. It's all be leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Oh, Kazuma is here! It feels even more oppressive here than yesterday. Then what? There are cold stairs piercing me. Like knives from all sides today. Naruto, look! Oh, you motherfucker! Oh, you! How the fuck am I gonna get you then? Every single thing we can do to put his name in the hat, he will say no. And he has the power to say no. Oh, you motherfucker! You motherfucker! Of course he's going to put himself as the judge. Of course he will. Oh! I must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of this country's legal system, which is me. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all over the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in this proceeding, yeah, sure, to avoid international embarrassment. By our royal decree, we will continue to be a closed trial. And one over which I, Mael Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. You fucker! The six shooters' flames just, as was the case in yesterday's proceeding, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. Ah! Does Van Ziek actually suspect Strongheart? I do hope he does. On a personal note, I found this most distressing in Lord Van Ziek's. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother Clint, in fact, do not say his name, motherfucker. Oh! In the name of her... He doesn't have a hammer, okay. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Barak Van Ziek, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsel for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. This is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceeding brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, they have an accomplice. Mr. Daley Vingen, who would be given the inspector's identification. Sorry? And presented himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibi for Gregson. In that way, I love the Edward hand pose. A lot of these games' animations and poses are very referential to the original trilogy. Like, not all Ryonosuke having the same animations as Phoenix makes sense, but like, he has the Edward pose. Van Ziek's entire animation set is a reference to Godot. Godot. In that way, Gregson appears to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard, when in fact, he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigen who have been suffering from amnesia, regained his memories. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself, as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at the Barclay prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Miss Vigen is currently recuperating at St. Sinner. He recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the red-headed leak. Which brings us to the crucial issues of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed the suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch have not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord? Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Asugi. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issues. He confirmed the defense suggestions could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on the 31 October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here updated autopsy report. Oh, it's been so long. That includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday. The time of death was 5 p.m. on November 1st. On the 1st of November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slow by keeping it chilled. That is out of question. There are no refrigerators devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There is evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it truly. Today of all days I forgot to get my help. I do not understand why this specific word throws me off so much. Like, I can perfectly say it in my head, but the moment I try to speak, it just doesn't go thoroughly. Very well, even though I'd hate to do this because I'm the culprit, the court will accept this new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, It would give renewed significance to the movement of the victim. It would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vision as a cover-up to cover up his real movement. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. The assassin and the prosecution has some information regarding those activities. Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls it first witness now. Gina? Yeah. It was gonna be either Gina or generic Scotland Yard guy, so might as well be Gina. Sorry? State your name and occupation for the court. Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting. Representative of Scotland Yard. Representative of Scotland Yard. A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina, again. What's your problem, Odo? What with that Gina again, Luke? The boss meant a word to me. He did more for me than anyone else ever did. Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean? He got me out of the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that is why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina. Right, out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he have his arm twisted by Mr. Shaw. Shut the fuck up, Ryonosuke. Gina has a good character development. Let her have her moment. What is relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard investigation yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew. Of course he knows! Of course he knows, Naruhodo! So, Inspector Lestrade, how behind are you, my dude? Let's hear exactly what it says on that report. But I guess none of the characters have actually show mistrust for Strongheart. Coming right up, sir. The victim's movement. We are detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they are told. But a little search of the boss office turned up a notebook that have a lot of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into smuggled goods dealing that day. Looked like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't on it yet. What matters most is there is witness who saw the Reaper at that place too. Really? Smuggled goods. I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what's written in the book. Tobacco, tea, spices, medicine, and goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from all across the globe. It's well known that they are disposed at the regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt, Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigation being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority, without the Yard knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? Have him... No, you can't investigate it. In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on that day in question, the accused is known to have been there. Is that your role in this? Because we still haven't talked about the fact that you got a big truck that wasn't examined. Is that how you are going to be included in the story? And on that day in question, the accused is known to have been there. No, but that's a lot more. And another plot line. No, the kid doesn't need it. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard investigation. Sorry, that's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter. That cannot be. We haven't heard anything about any of this. Members of the club has testified to it. There is no question, the accused, Barak van Zix, was present. That would be very significant testimony then. Oh my, but Lord van Zix has made no mention of this at all. In short, Lord van Zix have ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well. Counsel for defense, begin your cross-examination. Can we call Lord van Zix to talk about it? Okay, as always, we start by pressing everything. So, you follow orders, do you, Gina? Is that where you're gonna go, Naruhodo? Nah, not me. I'm above all that. Oh. The boss always has special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, or go and give Toby a grub. That kind of thing. So, errands more than orders then. This detective is still an apprentice after all. Yeah, well, his apprentice ain't want to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I have been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first, but a little search of the boss also turned the notebook. Hold it! I'm surprised the notebook haven't been added to the court record so I can check it. So you went to Inspector Gregson things. Yep, as part of the independent Lestrada investigation. Okay, everything's fine. I'm sure your superiors will be delighted that you are taking the initiative. So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Because if anyone in the yard have seen me going in there, they will have turfed me straight out to the street. This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook. Are we sure this is his notebook and not a planted notebook? You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrada and her trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby. We found hidden in one of his desk drawers they have a false bottle. That's impressive. So then I went and hid myself where no one could find me, so I could have a butcher at what was written in it. Because if anyone in the yard have found me out, they will have me turfed straight out the street. I have given it now, though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, it wouldn't have ever been found. Good job, Gina. Hold it! Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep. It's all in the boss notes. Let's see. Already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at the Gentleman's Club. Yes, I remember, but I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable the club might be used again by the smugglers in future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in this proceeding. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what the fuss are about. It's right here. All you gotta do is read it out. And I could too. I got this reading game bottled up now. Can't I show you what I can do? Go on. What's the harm? The judge hasn't signed his these objections yet. I could try to find. What should I do? Sure. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of any information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightful exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord, the prosecution has no objections. Oh! Kazuma? There is no question Inspector Gregson was looking into this black markings dealing. However, if it's not yet been established that he was on the particular trial, on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's naming, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Oh, Strongheart doesn't like that. Right then, I get to show off my reading skills. Apparently, the smuggled goods deal were happening at a gentleman's club called the Grooves. The Grooves. The cruise. The cruise. Have I seen that word before? I... I think I have. But I can't remember. Have we? How many suggestions have been taken to these guys? No. The cruise. I don't think there's anything here. No, I don't think there's anything yet. The cruise.
Hold it!
The cruise. What sort of club is that? I mean, the Foggers clubs aren't exactly my thing. But I'm kind of curious. They're not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted. Have you looked into the mirror recently? I tell you what, me and Inspector Gregson could go undercover. Would you though? I could pick up a few good marks and see who else I could find out what was in there. I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where this black market stealing were going to take place, is it? Yeah, it gotta be. That's what the lower-ranking detective they are, reckon. Say the even lower-ranking detective.
Hold it!
Oh, how did Inspector Gregson come to find out about it in that case? That's the question, isn't it? But I'm just an apprentice, so... Why didn't he inform the Scotland Yard of his findings? Yeah, that's what I'm asking myself, because, you know, I'm just an apprentice. When it suits you, yes. Anyway, the point is, something went on that club, no question. You can't say that for certain, though, surely. What the matter most is there are witnesses who saw it, who saw the Reaper. On the club. Lord Von Zix was at the club. He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members reported having seen the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest. It looked like there is no disputing that he was there. Well, we know the Lord Von Zix was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he have already discovered the Inspector's secret notebook. Which led him to the club, you mean? Maybe. Presumably, there are also eyewitnesses who can testify that Gregson was there. No! None have been identified this time, no. So the all-important witness wasn't seen at this mysterious club. Hey, why ain't you ask Inspector Lestrade here then? Interesting! So that's how we got to... So the idea of plain evidence is a little bit stronger with me now. So that's how we got to work with. Jenny is not holding back with the ice-cold stares of her issue. I really don't know what to make of all this. Lord Von Zix told us that he was investigating Inspector Gregson. He never once mentioned that he met the Inspector the day before the incident. You don't think Lord Von Zix could have been lying to us, do you? That's not the only way to explain. If everything Lord Von Zix told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere. You mean there are details we have yet to uncover? Exactly. A clue that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking. Do I have something that can prove that he was not there? When was this given to him? Mm. That's the bloodstain. And the knife, which we have already checked. No, 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 no. Autopsy report, no. No, no, no. I think maybe the passport? Yeah, because he wouldn't be at the club because he would be...
Objection!
Traveling? Let's try that. Okay, let me go here. And what do I have the option again? No. Okay, so we have unlocked this and this is important.
Hold it!
This is the correct place for me to present something. Because the name is important. How do I prove that Gregson was not at this club? The only thing I could think of is the passport, but it's not the passport. It's not this, it's not this. Do I maybe have to... Okay, what if we go from this one? I kind of feel like we have to go from this one. I wish this was submitted so I can actually pay attention. This mega good deal was happening at a gentleman's club called the Cruise.
Hold it!
Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I want to present evidence. I feel like I have to reread the evidence because 3 days is... I don't remember the details. Okay, no. No. This is the professor note for us to get into. Passage on the spaceship. Dismissal note. No. The photo. No. The candelabrum. No. The gun. No. The toy. No. The hairpiece. No. The old photo. No. Suggest death. The shot in the back. No. 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 Is the other one? No. Gregson's notification. I find it very difficult to think yes. No. Hotel, Mr. Jigoku. No. The Asogi papers, the fake Asogi papers. No. The trunk is the one I'm thinking, but I don't see how that contradicts it. We really cannot check this blade, which is annoying me a little bit. And yeah, that's the passport that was weird. Passport was shot for travel to France the day before his body was discovered, which means this day he shouldn't be there. He should be getting his passport. But I don't know how long that would take. This is irrelevant for what now, and we cannot do. Isn't supposed to follow orders. The little officer did not blow secret meetings. Apparently, the movie's deal was going to happen at a gentleman club called the Gruz. Looked like a big job, but the coppers weren't on it yet. No matter what, the witness saw the rip at the place too. I'm gonna put the passport here and see what happens.
Objection!
No. Oh wow, it is the first clue and I'm already lost. Something Jenna missed. If I press it everything again, I don't suppose anything new is going to happen. There was one case in the first game that I did have to press something, then get to the end and press it again. So let's press it everything just in case. But I don't think this is giving me anything new.
Hold it!
The foggiest idea. Gotta be. Coppers weren't on it too. The apprentice thing. And people saw the Reaper too. But they didn't solve the Gregson. Okay. So it's safe to say there is nothing new. My gameplay instinct says this is the line because this is the new one and we need the name before we proceed with the story. But nothing here.
Objection!
No. I am actually lost on the first fucking line. Have I forgot something because I haven't played in 3 days? No, I haven't. Have I? No. To see Red League.
Objection!
This? Because if he was investigating, it would be in here. No, we need to re-examine everything. Yeah, I do think I probably forgot something. This cannot... There is nothing here to examine. There is nothing here to examine. Advertised for newspapers, somewhat suspicious. A lot of introduction written in the back of the ticket. There is something here, but it's not yet. Oh, I remember SS Gruz. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. That's why I felt like I have seen that word before. Because I have seen that word before. Why? I feel like that should have been written here. Anyways. Okay. I have read about the clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand, there are places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Ah, that took way too long. I don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be at the meeting. Seriously, the mirror cracked? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealing will definitely happen at a club called the Gruz? The policemen are currently looking for evidence, but I haven't found anything definitive yet. I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on the 31st of October... Sorry, 31 of October may not have been a gentleman club. You're showing a very irreverent attitude towards our country police force there, Council. If you weren't a gentleman club, what was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have evidence to prove it here. Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not the least untrustworthy. Oh, the other way. Be more specific next time. Ah, this would appear to be a ticket for a passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Gruz.
Objection!
So there's a steamship called the Gruz that happens to share a name with the club. Okay, so yeah, the smuggling is without question going to be Jinjigoku with this big truck here. You motherfucker, really? You are smuggling things, really? But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the day of arrival in port. The ship arrived at Port Dover on the 1st November the 1st, okay. The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words... Wait. Didn't we... The whole thing about witness having seen Von Zix there. Where did you guys investigate and found those witnesses? Or did they found a witness on a club called the Gruz, and Von Zix was on that club, but they didn't found evidence? Okay, so there are two Gruzes. One where Detective Gregson was, where there was smuggling, and one where Von Zix was, where they found people. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. When the victim was on his clandestine mission, the ship hasn't yet docked on British shores. That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging.
Objection!
The fact that the steamship haven't reached Britain substantiates the defense assertion that the victim was investigating an SS Gruz on the day in question. Then show your evidence for that assertion. Very well. Don't. In that case, counsel for defense, present your evidence to the court now. You're claiming the victim was investigating the SS Gruz on October... Fuck, I have nothing. The passport? It doesn't say how he's traveling. Port of Dunk ship. So maybe it's by ship? Do they have airships yet?
Take that!
I'm gonna go with the passport. Okay. Do they have airships yet? No. No, they didn't, because there was the whole balloon. No, wait, they have? When was airship made? First airship. Maybe? Anyways, it's not by air. He is absolutely flying by ship. What is it? A passport for travel issues to the victim. Date 31 October. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector body was discovered, there is a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. Okay, what are you cooking, my dude? This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized. The day before the SS Gruz arrived in Dover, it docked on the northwest coast of France for a night. According to my father, who was on board at Port Dunkirk. Okay, I do not remember this. 3 days of not playing is fucking with me. Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there? I'm impressed, did you know, Naruhodo? I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You knew about this? Yes. The prosecution strategy for this trial has been laid out by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That is the outcome of the Scotland Yard investigations, and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecution office is trying to hide something. Are you Strongheart? What? And now that you have expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to review what I believe that's something to be. What the fuck are you doing, Yasugi? A courtroom is a forum for the true, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts without exceptions. Shut the fuck up, my dude! The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question, was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. Okay, so we are going to go with Gregson was part of the quote-unquote Reaper organization, which I still hope it's not the case. I do hope it's just he was investigation that was silenced for getting too close. Order, order, order. What on earth are you saying, my dude? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed, as I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was in fact acting for the Reaper. So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Who? Barak Van Zix never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victim lost their lives, he always have a cast-iron alibi, which tells us that he must have an accomplice. And you claim that that was Inspector Gregson. An assassin, you know? What the hell do you think you're saying, huh? My boss would never have done something like that. Anything like that. And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense. No, it can't be. We all arrive at the same conclusion, didn't we? I mean, Van Zix kinda told us. We didn't arrive at it. The Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper. Even so, there is no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord Van Zix. No, the true Reaper is someone else. I thought that the game was going to go from that from a shot to of Strongheart. Barak Van Zix is not the Reaper. A predictable response from someone who is advocating for the man. And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Cruise on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. Oh, you have some solid reasoning for doubting the assertion, do you, Counsel? Oh, no one is dead. Very simple on the day in question. Nobody was killed aboard the steamship that we know of. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. Huh? What's so funny? You're right, of course, no suspicious deaths were reported on board this ship. But I think perhaps you missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. Because he was sent there to assassinate, but it was actually just a plot to eliminate him. Gregson did board the SS Groove that night with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure. Oh, okay, so you're going for a different angle, okay. It seems the defense hasn't yet grasped at a very important detail here. Nope, you can tell. Clarify it, please. What are you talking about? Inspector Gino Lestrade. What? The victim notebook that you read, the reader served from earlier, that doesn't contain the details of the secret investigation at all. It described 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey. You're lying, even if then Bludgers were to take it out, have it coming. The boss weren't the Reaper. Regina. There is no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activity. I question that. You may be an apprentice, but if you have spent any time in Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors. I heard nothing, I don't believe a word of it. Then testify again, as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss. I don't... Well, that sounds fun. Fucking do it! Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook. Yeah, the note does have a lot of stuff about what the Reaper got up this past 10 years, because he was investigating it. Name of victims, dates, and place and stuff. And the last entry was 31 October. It says Gruz for the place on that date, and then the name of the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in the court 10 years ago or something. Okay. Oh, Jigoku! But honestly, the bot didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all. Because there was a... Mikoto was not the defense attorney, and neither was Jigoku. But Jigoku did erase some stuff, and it have some consequences. Keep personal opinion, order for testimony witness. We require only the established facts here. This must be hard for her. You cannot deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What can't I deny? The notebook contains the name of the final mark, and the location where the assassination would take place. That information the victim can only have known if he was working with the Reaper, or if he was involved in the case 10 years ago. So, who was the final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that is written alongside the entry that mentions the Gruz on 31 October. Oh. How did you read this? Reading is still not her strong suit. That ain't no problem, alright, Odo? It's a funny name, it ain't English, it's hard to read. It's someone from overseas. Let me have a bash at it. Seishiro... Yeah, Seishiro. Jiokuyu? Well, it cannot be. Seishiro Jigoku? That is Judge Jigoku. Seishiro Jigoku. Certainly not an English name, you're right.
Objection!
That cannot be right. I know Judge Jigoku, and I saw him the day before yesterday here in London. And I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate a mistake. That's conjecture. That's a lot of assumptions. So he killed the Inspector, personally. Come on, you have no fucking proof of that. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Baroque von Zicht. It's undeniably correct. Good job, Asogi. Kazuma, you planned for this trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
Ooh. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice while I stand accused of murder. Okay, that's a good one. Lord von Zix, the accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You will return to the dock. I say nothing of whenever or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. The girl is no detective. What? No, that's right, I ain't. I'm Inspector. Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed yards. Okay, yeah, so we are acknowledging that it could be a planted evidence, but I don't think it is. I do think he's just investigating. That's not testimony, it's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you have clearly planned. Strongheart. Oh, okay, Kazuma, sorry. Your hatred of me... Okay, so you're still not pointing at Strongheart. Oh, sorry about that. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I'm the Reaper who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. Okay, are we going to acknowledge the fact that Kazuma is extremely connected to the defendant and emotionally... but does it matter for prosecution? But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself. By attempting to have me condemned with this feasible excuse for testimony. What did you say? Naruhodo, this is our chance. My lord, the defense requests the defendant be allowed to speak, as he's been doing. He may be privy to important information related to the testimony just given by the witness. How far do I want to play this game? And the people were watching. Very well, I will make an exception and grant the request. Defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Then, allow me... First playthrough? Yes. Then allow me to toast the court impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counts for the defense. Begin your first cross-examination immediately. At once, my lord. Okay. Yes, the notebook does have a lot of... Oh, we are on the same one. About the Reaper, past 10 years, naming of the victims, last entry, gross, the place on the date, and the name of the mark. A note about him being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago. Honestly, the boss didn't know of it. It was just investigating the Reaper, that's all. Okay. Let's go back and press everything. You seem to be cooking. Thanks. I do like to spend a good amount of time trying to figure out stories, and it's one of the big joys why I like mystery stories like this. Did you notice how Kazuma-sama reacted to Lord Van Zip's words when he called him an even more sinister Reaper? I'm sure Kazuma intends to eliminate any shred of doubt. Let me first do the presses before doing the hint.
Hold it!
Okay, so these are different. In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper. Not at all. Ooh, we are gonna pursue. That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could be having investigating the Reaper in secret. The notebook said, and the notebook said what he found out. If I may, when originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carry out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusive that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper. Okay, so we are really going with Gregson was part of the group. One arm? What are they on about? The Reaper victims were all extremely shred criminals at the top of their game. Sorry. There is simply no way one person could have taken them alone. The Reaper is an organization. With you at its head. Okay. Why did this assassin have to kill Wilson? Because Wilson knew too much? With you at its head. I have spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movement. Oh shit! Letting me know when he was elsewhere. Oh! So I've been able to check the most recent entries in his book. I knew the location. You knew it says Gruz. Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate, alone. Ah, so that explains why several members of the club claimed to have seen you there. But of course, the inspector was not there, because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked in the north coast of France. As shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. This is a long press! Very well then, back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook. Fine. Something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo. You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago. Oh, no, it's alright. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? What are you overthinking? He was making the way into the scene, shown by the passport from the victim's metal truck. Because Kazuma shouldn't know what's on that truck? Yeah, how did Kazuma know about the truck? Name, victim, date and place, last entry...
Hold it!
We should be able to press that first one again if we need to, because that is big things there. Name of the victim, date, place and stuff. What in particular? Well, besides the victim name, this other name keep cropping up. The name was Assassin. And then when I told you yesterday the same name written all over again. You mean Assassin? Yeah, because Assassin was the actual killer and Gregson was just investigating. Gregson is a good man. Do not sully his name. Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't she? Were you even listening yesterday? Assassin. The assassin. They really couldn't think of a better name. What, like a killer you mean? Gregson was a tactician and the one who came up with the plan of attack. Investigating the marks thoroughly find out when they would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them. But the person actually executing the plan was someone else, you're saying? If that is true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organization group of vigilantes. Then perhaps what it says on the passport document. Permission for one... Oh, okay, we are talking about that. And one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been... clearly the assassin who was submitted to take Seishiro Jigoku alive, who is dead? Gina, can you confirm that against the final entry listed Gruz and Seishiro Jigoku? What name was written? Oh, well... That's the only entry that doesn't have a name next to it, as it happens, because Assassin is dead. It just have like a question mark or something there, I think. In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? Oh, you are confused. How infuriating. Girl! Girl! You were the fucking lawyer on her death! Girl! A nameless assassin. Okay, we don't have the word assassin here, and I don't even have anything to present for that. Okay, let's continue pressing. And they're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jigoku. That's what I said. Funny name, if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd. Please, so pleased you have lost my crown there. Mr. Jigoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judiciary. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago. Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart. The bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku mentor. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now. 10 years ago, after that fateful case. Precisely. In the aftermath of the professor case, repatriation was organized immediately. It is a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook. I didn't think it was possible, but the mood in here got even worse now. Maybe I will just keep talking. There was a note about him being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago.
Hold it!
What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jigoku is no criminal. Oh, don't ask me, I don't know nothing about it. Oh, do you remember what Father told us? That Jigoku did once appear in court here in Britain. It was related to the professor case, I'm sure. Yes, of course, you're right. Yeah, it's the thing I remember. Okay. Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said something about contemptuous word about the British Empire for which he was charged. Yeah, he was charged for something. Did you prosecute him? It was a pitiful situation, yes. I have forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens. You did. It was considered to be an agent to the professor proceedings, you see. He was acquitted after being told to make reparations for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Have what? Surely the accused haven't forgotten his own rule. And there is no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. Yeah, Gina! No. Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Jigoku was targeted for assassination, the man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial? The Reaper have no time to do his work. Come on, Kazuma, even you know that's weak. But then, 10 years later, the mark returned to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindicative the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd. Take someone life for that. Gina is right there. Isn't that the whole premise of the... Sorry. Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd? Killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly, the rules by which the men operate are beyond a sane person comprehension. But... Objection. Right, I just have enough of this. Gina. All this nonsense about the oh my god. All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people. It's cobblers. Come on, Odo. Yes. Okay, so we didn't have to present anything. It was just a press cross-examination. Okay. Why aren't you saying anything? Why ain't you yell out objection or something? What? You're gonna find a flaw. You do usually. Someone is lying here, no question. You gotta work out who it is. It's so bad for you, girl. Please. Jill is probably the character most emotionally connected in this duology. That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. Just yelling at her, okay. When this trial is over, you for a future red card, Miss Lestrade. Okay, Strongheart is not in the mood. Okay, is that clear? And I have with a lot of you. It lies every bleed place you look in this world. In it, well, I have enough. Gina? So have I. After that little speech of Gina, I have made up my mind. To do what, Miss Naruhodo? There was one point in that cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd. The one from Kazuma talking about the passport. I'm not gonna let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears. Come on, Odo, you gotta find a flaw somewhere. Okay, let me press this since it doesn't work. I want to thank you, Gina. You have helped me find my resolve. Huh? What do you mean? Among everything we have heard during this cross-examination, there is one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency. It's inconsistency. What? An inconsistency? Really, Odo? I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there is an inconsistency in something that was said by...
Take that!
By you, Kazuma Asogi. Calling him by his full name. Is this some attempt at filibustering counsel? I nearly say flirting. Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I presented the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you realize what you have done. Let me just... Can I... No, it's way too far. It was something about the passport, because I remember thinking, how did he know about the passport if it was in the box? And maybe he didn't have access to it? But evidence suggests this alleged inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asogi has said. I'm gonna go with either the box or passport. I'm gonna go with passport first.
Take that!
So my initial impression was correct. This is nonsense. Okay, maybe it was the box. Not having the line to reference is a bit annoying. But you could say it's my fault for not paying more attention. Reload. I lost so many lives for a dumb thing. Let's try doing this correctly this time. Let me just... Yeah, it was this one. Let me check it again. I think it was this one. Asashin... Autosave. Yeah. It kinda... It's so easy to just reload. It kind of makes the life point system lose its meaning a bit. Investigated. Well, okay. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been clearly the assassin who was meant to take Sesshouro Jigoku life? Gina, can you confirm that whose name was written? The only other entry didn't have a name. A question mark. In other words, he didn't know that Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? How infuriating. Okay, no, he was in the... So he was in the previous one.
Hold it!
Let me skip most of it. The Reaper. I have spies in Scotland Yard. Because of that, I knew. You needed said Gruz. Believe it to be a reference to the Gentleman Club. I went there alone. They explain why you were there. Of course, the Spectre was not there because of the time he was making his way to the steamship docked in northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. And then we noticed something. Why is this inconsistent? My only thing was Kazuma didn't have access to the metal trunk, but... because he was making his way to the steamship, a somebody passport found in the victim's metal trunk. The metal truck is a big thing because there is blood on the blade. But it's not inconsistent. Okay, let's go back to where we presented. And let me try presenting the metal truck. So... okay, first... Oh, we have to first keep pressing and then get the Gina cry scene. Okay, that's going to take a minute. Not mistaken, 10 years ago.
Hold it!
Hold it one more, and I think this is the final one. These are some long cross-examinations, but that's fine. Ideally, you will not repeat this. Like I'm doing. Because of my incompetence, but that's fine. Okay. Gina, I'm also tired. Gina, you gave me the strength. So let's do this.
Hold it!
Okay, back to the hype moment. The person who said something wrong was Kazuma.
Take that!
And let's go with the metal truck because that's the one that makes the most sense considering the subject at the time. And if not, let me actually sit down and think about
Take
it.
that!
It was the metal truck, okay. This is a truck that belonged to Inspector Gregson. Metal construction, is it? Certainly very heavy. What is this? Bloodstain, and relatively fresh one. What? You mean there ain't a grease from all the boss fish and chips? Fresh blood in the Inspector trunk? That suggests the victim was traveling with the luggage when he was killed. That cannot be. There was no mention of any truck in the Scotland Yard report. Yes, there is a reason for that. Immediately after the Inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the truck. So they are not aware of the truck, really? Okay, I was considering that, but the truck was just there. So I would assume that after we were finished with it, Scotland Yard would grab it, but I guess they didn't. Hoping to sell it. But I found it, me, with my nose for trouble. Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we are talking about someone who was present when the victim was killed. Kazuma? And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma. Because at the time he was making his way to France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. So, the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? We know the man went on a trip to France. What else would have— oh, come on!
Objection!
That's weak! Yeah, but you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On 31 of October, what exactly were you? Oh, we're gonna put him in the middle of the mess. The port of Duncan, on board of the SS group. Oh! Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke? Yes. So say it again, but not playing with me this time. Kazuma, what the? Okay, are you serious actually? I haven't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was on the ship, it can only have been for one purpose. Mr. Naruhodo, surely you don't think? Come on, Ryunosuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proven nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to proving it beyond all reasonable doubt? That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there with Gregson. There's a clue you have overlooked. A secret the truck can tell us. I can't be sure at this point, I'll need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right. The blade! Show me your katana! The accusation has been made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless, we must test it. The defense would identify to the court where in the truck is this allegedly clue to be found. Okay. First we open... Do I have to examine the blade before presenting it? Let's do it just in case.
Got it!
There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the truck here, like the tip of a blade. A blade. Kazuma, slung around your waist as every today, is the steam blade, Karuma. Of course it is. Want to draw it here in this courtroom for all to see, and also the other one. Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff, watch Prosecutor Asugi like a hawk. That won't be necessary. Ah, it is stupid. You were on the boat. You were in the middle of this mess. You went to France to get into this boat. Is that why we couldn't have talked to you on that day when it was just like free time and talking to people? The tip is broken. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. The symbolism of the blade that is his soul being broken. Agree, Kazuma Asugi? Excellently done, Ryunosuke. That is a point to you, and well deserved. You mean to tell the court, prosecutor, how much do you not actually know? Because I know that you are the final boss and everything is your plan. But do you not know what Gregson and Asugi were doing, but you still send a killer to kill Gregson? Yes. On 31 October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Durkin. Oh, you were the one more person! Okay, that makes more sense. In order to carry out the mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission? The assassination of the Mark. What? Okay, Kazuma, come on. You mean you are the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You are following the Reaper's order to dispatch Judge Jigoku. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. That doesn't answer the question. I accept the assassination mission, yes, and I accompany Gregson to Dunkirk. But I never have any intention to carry out the plan. You're never going to do it. Why would Gregson believe in you and bring you along? You can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Jigoku arrived safely in London the following day. On the 30th... Okay! What's the case we have against Van Zix at this point? Because now we have hard, solid evidence that Gregson was on the ship, and we have multiple witnesses saying that Gregson was on a club. So what exactly is the accusation right now? Let's just keep going. On the 31, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled... Sorry. Sorry. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then, we boarded the SS Grove and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan. You went to Judge Jigoku cabin. Exactly. Didn't we have a conversation with the two of them when we meet on the hotel, where both of them were surprised with the idea that Kazuma was alive? So he never met them, or Jigoku and Mikotomo were lying? He wasn't there though, we decided to wait, but you already told us you have no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life, aside from Van Zix, so I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent the night at a boarding house in the town, and returned to England the following morning. What were you planning to do? A boarding house in Dunkirk? My signature will be in the register book, it will be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room to report the failure, causing the Muse to pull the trigger. Okay, so we are back to this. Okay, and end his wretched agent life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder.
Objection!
But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to the lodge in the Inspector's trunk? I don't need to answer that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The victim was killed by a gunshot, as no fragment of my Japanese blade is not relevant to the case. Yes, it is. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right. Shut the fuck up, Judge. Judge, I know you're a corrupt judge who is here to destroy me, but come on, Judge. With that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence. We are taking out his soul. Come on, Judge. You must take immediately action now, to verify whenever Seishiro Jigoku remains unharmed. What? Remains unharmed? I agree, that should be your first priority. Are you gonna kill Jigoku? Are you going to send someone to kill Jigoku right now, Strongheart? It recently came to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You told me to say that you think Judge Jigoku may have been killed. The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal. He has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zix? If I were truly the Reaper, I'll be able to tell you. Order in court, order. We'll take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now, guests of the Symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's officer. The man cannot be located with half an hour. We will have to assume the worst. Oh, come on, you can't give more than half an hour. No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who only just arrived in the country. Except, that is, for the Reaper, wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. We are never going to acknowledge that Gina is also a mark. I will have to agree. So I'm gonna send him to the assassin right now. Naruhodo, for defense sake, my lord, I sincerely hope we are successful. If we are unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's health existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. And is that what Sherlock was doing last night? Court is adjourned for 30 minutes. Oh, we stay here. We're gonna talk to Kazuma. Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. We are really not gonna question why did Kazuma accept the assassination invitation? What was his plan? How did we are going to just be okay with him not talking about the blade in the trunk? Okay. Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare. I can hardly believe it either, but on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful have happened to Judge Jigoku, and I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courtroom this morning. That strange sensation that we were catering towards a foregone conclusion. I mean, yeah, strong-hearted the fucking judge. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there is anything we can do but wait now. We are out of options. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. You have Aris, Sholmes, Gina and Toby. Or rather, one last ear. Of course. The Deus Ex Machina! Of course! Of course it's going to have the location of Judge Jigoku. Yeah! Let's see what bullshit is going to be. Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo. Please just be a lucky charm. Please don't actually be anything. It's screaming. That sounds like Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, where are you? Here, my dear fella, here. It's the Pelt doll talking. Put the ear again, Mr. Naruhodo, as hard as you can. Alright, I'll put all my strength into it. Oh! It's a cell phone. How do you have this technology? You have a X-ray goggles, it doesn't matter. Please, my dear fellas, you don't need to pull my ear off. Mr. Sholmes, where are you? Myself and my trusted partner are present in the first-class cabin of the SS Gruz. The SS Gruz left over last night after the final piece of cargo were loaded. Shortwave radio exists and then, I mean, this is a little too small for it, but yeah. Honestly, he is... What was the term he used? Skin print was honestly a bigger bullshit and again, he had X-ray goggles. We're currently docked at Dunking and due to be underway again in half an hour. You have taken a ship to France. Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump to the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cabin to the station and by train to the port. In order to board this vessel in time, how much did you already know at that time and you just didn't want to tell me anything? So, you mean you have already figured it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name? Sherlock Sholmes, the world-famous great detective. Recited to perfection. Well done. You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for it. Nisuzato, gentle with this genius ear, please. Oh my, I'm ever so sorry. If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS group. Ah! At Scotland Yard yesterday, when we explained the notebook, and I recall my steamship ticket. When we examined that notebook. But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not only did I controvert the fact, I merely have our court-bonded companions utter my name. Yes, you didn't you? We just enter recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if you're unable to present any new leads, then I'm afraid to say... Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within half hour. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes. You'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first. They really just made an extra set of animations just for this. Wow. I shall not be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion. Whatever was the idea behind making the receiver operating in that way in the first place? Why the deuce would I know? It's Ari's invention, not mine. Please tell me you're gonna play as investigation as the two of them. Well, whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes. We have but half that now before the Gruz put to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigation rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprisingly amount of sense. So, let us begin. Oh, are we actually going to play as the two of them? First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. I don't believe our investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. Are you beef stroganoff, brother? Are you chicken stroganoff? The crewmate standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fella. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? My dear fella, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not recognize world-traveling great sailor? Chicken Stroganoff! Oh yes, of course it was Chicken Stroganoff! When you see, great detective, I don't think so. Sholmes. I'm so happy. Do you see that, Mikotoba? It would appear that this man is a devout follower of mine. Goodness me, is that a tattoo that says Sholmes? Who paid you to not let Sholmes get in? I must say, while such an adoration is flattery, naturally it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave now. Is it maybe supposed to be like backward writing? No. How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by my name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe? Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikotoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard the ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku. There is no one with this name on board. But we know that he purchased a ticket for passage. Ah, you mean Easterman. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk, he said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? So Seishiro realized that we are after him, has he? His cabin, the one behind you. We should like to investigate it, please. No, I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Mikotoba, be a good man and draw this silver attention away, would you? Make some excuse so that he leaves the area. Doesn't the great detective see that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Curses, the plan is ruined. You have only yourselves to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes. Forget it, cabin door is locked. Even if I'm not here, you cannot get inside. Mikotoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? Within a mere 5 seconds. So, if you'd be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typical accommodating manner. I couldn't refuse such a typical and appealing request, old friend. So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds. Good man. So, the game is afoot. Okay! I mean, we don't really have much to work with. This is the first thing. Switch for electrical lights, perhaps if we were to turn it loud. Not yet. He's just going to move there. I need to, yeah, this is probably something like, and then I can move that in front. Try it. I should try things just to see what happens. That sounds like a big mousing trap. Choo-choo. I will bring bucket of water later and pour out of misery. I don't like the sound of that. In any case, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a chew sound. Really? Pray tell, what sounds do Russian mice make? Pee-pee. So, also quite unconvincing, I readily admit. Go ahead, do a pee-pee this time. No, thank you. I'm sure I can come up with an alternative solution. Okay, the light... I thought maybe we were gonna have to do a bunch of stuff to make the light work, but maybe it's just click the light. This would appear to be an alarm bell. Let's not do that. That is way too much. I need to have another distraction. Okay, let's try actually doing the light. Click. Ah, what is happening? What is light? Now, Sholmes, now. Okay, so it was just click the light. Huh, nobody there. That was a close shave. Quite a neck you have, stumbling so violently in an apparently empty corridor. Do be quiet, Sholmes. I shall have to think of another approach. Okay, so that was not enough. Okay, door. I don't want to press the emergency alarm. That's way too much. It is speaking to for the members of the crew to communicate with one another. If I could persuade this locked sailor that he needs to use it, Sholmes could unlock the door. Question is how? To report something? First class cabin, the door is unguarded, empty as well. Do not investigate the wardrobe. There may be a young Japanese fella inside, perspiring merrily. If you're referring to Naruhodo, you know very well that he's currently perspiring merrily in court. Does it not strike you though? Why the man stands guard only in front of this cabin when both are vacant? Okay, let's actually do it then. You, what are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be very bad problem. What's going on there, seaman strong enough? Report at once. And then he has to stay there, okay. Just stupid trick. No, not by me, by world famous no, as I told you. Sherlock, go. Not even 5 seconds, huh? Well, don't stand there gulping at my brilliance, Mikotoba, in we go. Yes, okay, so how many seconds we have before he comes in and kick us out? Oh, here is the big truck. Outfits. Something that was removed here and then put it here, so there is something behind this. Interesting also. Good gracious. It would appear the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. He's not using the cool suit anymore. Okay, let me just adjust myself a little second and grab some water. Those clothes on the floor there, they are essential without question. Well, it seems we're just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we are here, we should investigate. There may be 2 hours worth of clues to find here. But that burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes. Indeed, he may. Which makes this all more thrilling. Okay. So, number 1. Obviously, you start with this one. I don't care about the passage rules. I want what is behind. I feel like the... Oh, did they? Ah! I feel the rules have increased since I last read. Probably just my imagination. What about the fact that they are not straight on the walls? Don't that strike you? You may be right. Probably just your imagination, though. You know what I always say. There is nothing important about tridents. It's probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. There is a gunshot mark behind it, like without question. Okay, if I investigate this, can I now remove that? The Ryonosuke rule. Yeah, just one new. You don't need a rule until someone does something stupid, and now we need a new rule. The wall is slightly different color just here. Do you see? Indeed, what you have observed arises from a frame you have been hanging for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. There is a bold deduction worth of the great detective, I'm sure. He may very well be the elusive thief who have been plaguing French galleries of late. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Shrooms. That outline... Arsène Lupin reference... Lupin... Yeah, the first Lupin book is kind of the same era as the Shrooms book, so yeah. I think I talked about this at some point, maybe not on stream. I would love more Lupin the Third crossover of other things, because Lupin the Third is such a good IP. Oh, could it work with Phoenix, right? Like Lupin did something and then we have to defend him. Whoever started this book, it was a hopeless heretic. I misclicked this. There is no copy of Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, my dear fellow. I'm afraid it's just me, but no, you're quite right. More blasphemous than overlooking the Bible. I shall leave a copy behind. I just happen to have one with me. You're a true missionary of the Church of Great Detectives, aren't you? Okay. Can I not move this? Is moving that going to be like the climax after you examine everything? There's a speaking tube here, so it's being stoppered with some cloth. The voice of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Or indeed, so the voice of this cabin and a gunshot aren't heard elsewhere. No, I don't think Judge Jigoku would kill Gregson. No. Could something have happening here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. That really became a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? Not mine. Oh, it's gonna require a password. It is a very sizable truck indeed. Essentially partial to all things large. And a rather clumsy fella if he failed to notice he left that behind. Perhaps he left on purpose? It's larger than you may think, it's still a hindrance to speedscape. Pity. Lock it, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now the situation will be quite different though. Password lock. The 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. Okay. Is the password somewhere? In the basket? Indeed, the letter is Spry. I have discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper basket. If not that, maybe in their clothing? I sincerely hope only for your work. Oh, okay, we are looking at. Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days, the night before we arrived in London then, when I was still aboard myself. Following the departure from London, all crew members are required to assemble on main deck at 10 p.m. Let me read it! There was an evacuation drill, I remember now. For safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under watchful eyes of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. Where? Oh, I cannot check clues right now. Great. According to the report that was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in his Asugi wardrobe. Indeed he was, and it was a similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. Whatever for? It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This will only take a moment. Really, Shum, surely you can tell me what you said. Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the Stoneway murderer. I think I will just read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Okay, can I look at the clothing? Yes. Is the password here? There's a substantial heap of clothing on the floor. Overcoat, shirts, dressing gown, momohibiki, work trousers, Tanzani robe, aramaki waistband. Clearly the clothing of a Japanese man. And clearly Japanese men are unaccustomed to the culture of wardrobe. It looks to me as they have been thrown a heap, like in something of a hurry. Indeed, you could help yourself to a Japanese man's shirt, perhaps. I'm sure you made mention of packing a few. I very likely drew in one of the statutory shirts. No, I'll just buy any extras I need, I think. Okay. No. So, water is the last thing? Really? The water? Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here. Oh, why is the ice haven't melted yet? Something wrong, Shums. You suddenly trailed off. Ice, Mikotoba, ice. How did it took me so long to notice that? What opulence the first-class passengers enjoy. Chilled drinks. Pardon? Could it be that this steamship is equipped with a electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? Oh, you mean for the corpse? Sure. Would ice have melted in 2 hours? Yeah, kinda. It is melted a little bit. Well, it is a luxury liner after all. It have enormous fridges for storing all sort of lavish products as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed the culinary delights from all over the world. Suddenly, Mikotoba, the sign of you is making my mouth water. Oh my. I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. We're really not gonna move it. You're still here. Ah, Abel Seaman Stroganoff. Hello again. I'm beginning to think that you will never materialize. You were waiting for me? Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. Me too. I was in trouble with Captain because of trick you played before. Poor innocent chicken. It's all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon, get out now. Come on! Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow, but first, there is something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally. The debunking of your deceit and the burying of the truth. We are gonna do a dance here? Kaku? I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jigoku have not yet left this vessel at all. He is inside the trunk. And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganoff, you know exactly where the man is, even as we speak, don't you? How can you... Oh! We are not here to fix it. Which means either we are going to fix it as Mikotoba, which would be fun, or Shrooms is actually going to do his first actual correct dance, which would also be fun. It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more, my dear partner. Ari's going to get you dead. We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Ah, it's a... okay. Time is of essence. Deduction. Mr. Strong. Oh, actually, we didn't get the UI with the whole ring. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of our earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Ah, this is what I said. Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes, of course. I see you have noticed too, Mikotoba. Then please, do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku. Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observation skills then, Mikotoba. It's been 10 years since we last did these, Shams, not 3. Why, of course it has. Quite. Now, the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I said, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe and the answer become clear. So, impress me. I think I can manage that. Are we actually finally gonna have our first dance where we don't have to do the dance twice and instead it's in one go? Oh, why couldn't the entire fucking system be like that? Perhaps we should have cleared away the glass? How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted despite being abandoned 2 hours ago. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand, get your mind off the refreshments, Shams. One might even conclude that someone informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? The original dance of deduction, what I don't... this is a good dance for the simple fact that I only have to do it once. And it explains why Shams always do it wrong, because he's used to have a partner fixing it. Why would Seshiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Gruz are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Ah, that's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Seshiro was, yes, 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku have to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this. Ah, this is news to you, it is, Mr. Stroganoff. Shams, what exactly are you getting at? As I said before, you are ready to be what is this Akuma pose? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice. Something out of place here. That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked. Let me finish reading! I must say I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite. But life always unexpected twists and turns, as we all know. Now, let's see if I can uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fella. Now we do rules. Ah! He's so into it! It's the rules of passages in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they are hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were pulled in a hurry. Yes, I'm sure you have already noticed. Are you also going to start the tap dancing? The frame was originally over there. Shape and size are a perfect match. Ah, you're right. When did frame move? Are you the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Stroganoff? I would think our captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Oh dear, that seems to touch a nerve. So, Mikotoba, why don't you lift that frame off the wall? Bullet mark, yes! That looks like a bullet hole. Yes, sorry. What? Who's been shooting wall? See, the projectile has been removed. Oh, I cannot look at the autopsy report. Okay. The projectile has been removed. Clearly, the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Jigoku is somehow connected to Strongheart because he was his assistant, apprentice. We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No game, no. They have to play games with Inosuke, teaching deduction, but he doesn't teach Mikotoba, and they have time for games here. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just enjoying this dance. It's so fun. I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield Sailor Prince. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect Easter Stranger? So, we are talking about the same man, I see. Good. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there is some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. He is good as long as he has a partner. He's half of a great detective. He needs his partner. I really don't know how to... It is weird because I talk about this a few times. Sholmes, every time he is with us, he is kinda incompetent. Every time he's not with us and he's investigating off-screen, he is extremely competent. Kinda. I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. My dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study a subject from every angle, and I'm quite sure you see, I put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at this fellow from outside. Well, I can certainly do that. Did he give you a bribe? Yep, here's the bribe.
Take that!
Every single time. It's almost too obvious for a word. Quite the universal language of the word money. And I wager that Easter fella in question is Seishiro Jigoku, yes. So, I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you are going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being accomplice. But... I believe you know Mr. Strong enough. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding in this precise moment. Okay, you could have been a little bit more subtle, game. As always, Mikotoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. Yes, I think you want something there, Sholmes. You have found the clink in this burly fellow's armor. You need only to follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. Slightly flicker, slightest! Okay, that's not the word I would have used it. Flicker of the pupil, a minute delayed blink. Not escape my attention, even that which is barely perceptible. You could hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man's turning his entire head. Come on! It's not exactly what you're describing as furtive glance, it is. Come on! We shall let you do your tapping. We shall let your tapping tools decide, my dear fellow. Huh?
Take that!
And one last time. You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? You're enjoying this so much. The truth is, Seishiro Jigoku was unable to escape from the ship in time, and is at this very moment doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. Huh? I imagine you didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. And you know, the whole dance. Is he tap dance while we call it dance of deduction? Because you were never dancing, but you call it dance because of Mikotoba. Oh, Iris is going to be so happy with her two dads. I think it will be everyone's best interesting for us to open the truck as quickly as possible. But how can we? Are you forgetting the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code. The combination lock cannot be opened from the inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for someone to open it after our departure. Of course. In short, before Jigoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must... Oh, that's why the Sholmes kinda looked weird, because that's the number combination. Like the M kinda looked like a 3. He must have told someone the 7-digit number for the lock. And I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Strongenough. Yeah, So 5231045. No, I know nothing about the combination code. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Huh? Now, Mikotoba, would you do the honors of opening the trunk? How on earth do you expect me to? The 7-digit number, remember, quickly now, we have a little time. 5. Let me 2, 3. 2, 3. No, oh, I can do it like this. And then 104. 104. 5. Is that a 5? Yeah. 5.
Take that!
Really fun how they actually made it kind of look like Sholmes. Hello, Jigoku. That did it. It opened. You have to meddle, didn't you? Please. Gun in hand. No. Well, Eugene, you have found me now. Seshiro. You look so good. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know. But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it. No, quite. I just wish it were some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes. I've read stories of many of your exploits. Everything since the moment he started hearing the tap dancing, he's like, no fucking way. Mikotoba, you are not tap dancing on me. In Sherlock Japanese, which is Sherlock Holmes, the lock is 6 digits. Ah! Oh yeah! Things like that, they kind of have to change in Japanese, I guess. Excuse my manners, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil's in the details, Mikotoba. I believe you mean to say. Your old friend and traveling companion. Sorry, I kind of missed that. Who made... Oh, okay, it's another thing extra, okay. Who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour. I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you don't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before arriving in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey? Yeah, I have since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you, 10 years ago now, mind you? Why Strongheart wants to eliminate you? What do you know? What do you know? I have no idea at the time what dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until God knows know when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. So you decide to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it. I'm afraid so. Yes, of course I realize now that I ought to have confided in you. Why did you try to hide from us? It's something surprisingly, I must say. It's somewhat surprisingly. What is? Well, first-class cabin aboard the luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that one just happened to be available. I mean, the other cabin is also open. So says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket and here I am. I just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So, you already purchased a return ticket before we even docked in Dover, have you? To prevent anyone else from taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it? Eugene, I have nothing to say to you. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will set off on its voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid I must insist that you disembark with us at once. Sorry. Sorry. I'm afraid you have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, says Shiro. Take it. Sui poema? What is it? A sui poema from the Old Bailey. You are a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. You came prepared then, Yuji. Oh, you are a bad guy. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Sholmes? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk, I have found this rather fascinating trinket. This turns a button of a shirt? What is that, Seishiro? I cannot help you, I'm afraid. It's a small component from something. But what? Oh! It's from Gregson's clock! This is the wind-up tool from Gregson's. Okay. By the looks of this face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket this as a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. A small machine part that Mr. Sholmes found in Judge Jigoku's cabin. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we have done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. And then they talked to us about everything that happened. I guess they are going to be here with Jigoku. They are going to bring him here. Kazuma Asogi, I know you, and I know you won't lie. But still, there is no doubt that you are holding something back. You know more than you are saying. I like how his has a different sound effect. During the past 30 minutes, while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. Sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. There is no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for the immediate verdict.
Objection!
No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Yonosuke. You should... Sorry. You should know when to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. There can only be one conclusion. The accused is guilty. A relevant testimony, far from it. There is still the crucial witness from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Oh, we can do that? Yes, my lord? Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Jigoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku, you found him! But the investigation of every policing resource, the investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess at the port of Dunkirk, thanks to one of Mr. Sherlock Holmes' famous deductions. Sherlock Holmes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Jigoku on the night of his death. Because alongside with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Groove on the 31 October. Of October. She starts saying off. 31 of October. Well, it would appear that it is too soon to move to adjudication at this point. You are not as strong arming this court as I thought you would, because there are too many eyes and you can't be too openly corrupted. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. What are we going to do now? Because I don't think we're going to have another set of investigation. Are we just going to time skip to the courtroom tomorrow? In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side? No, my lord? No objections, my lord? We live to fight another day, by the skin of our teeth. Are you starting to break down, Kazuma? Are you starting to question if Van Zix is actually guilty? Should I stop for today? This is kind of a good point. I do have another 30 minutes. Let's keep playing a little bit. I don't know how long this trial is going to be. The unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock, that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. Are we going to talk about Iris now? Oh, you made a fest. And you kind of forgot to fix the assets. Like, these are very, very low poly. You guys just ported from the 3DS and didn't even think about it. I have returned, my dear fellas. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. Think nothing of it. I believe you have an even more wearing day than Mikotoba and I know. You could say that. We were on the brink of defeat in the court earlier. But this prosecutor, Asogi, have you on the ropes, did he? He's your best friend, you say? Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Kazuma's changed. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, it's incredible to think that he's even entertained the idea of acting as the Reaper assassin. Oh, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I only ever met the young man as a corpse, and you know, you knew he was alive and you still have not given us an actual reason why you kept that as a secret. When all this started almost a year ago now, the show still haven't told us the truth about what really happened. Okay, so the game is acknowledging it. Good. About the motivation for which he describes it. Okay, so we care about motivation now, because when we didn't care about Satoru's motivation for keeping the name of the book a secret, only how she knew, when we didn't ask why she kept it a secret. Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France. Well, it is another country, Mr. Sholmes, so what news of Judge Jigoku? He took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man. Poor Professor Mikotoba. This must have been quite a shock for him. Ah, yes, I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put upon you this matter. I put upon you for the matter only yesterday. You put upon me, Sholmes. I have to fill out your. You put upon me, Sholmes. I have to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well. Oh, you have a reply already. What was so urgently, though? Such matters can wait until the plot demands it. I'm far too hungry for an involving conversation at present. Well, that's good news, because supper is ready, everyone. Ah, and what a feast it is. If I were none the wiser, I think the trial were won already. Roast beef, keeper, stew, steak, kidney pie, Yorkshire pudding. Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up. Okay, so we have fast forward to the night, so there's not going to be an investigation. We are just going to have this conversation and then start the trial tomorrow. In that case, I can just do this conversation and then we can, when we finish this and go to the trial, we can stop. In that case, I will sit myself just here. This place appears to be the only seat with a helping of pleasance as well. Oh, sorry, Hurley, not there. Huh? Why ever not? Are we in set places this evening? Yes, and that place is for Susie's daddy. For me? That's right, I made it specially for you, Professor, maybe my dad. I see. Wow, that is terribly kind of you. Can we please have the conversation? It's a shame, really. What do you mean? Well, for a brief moment I believe it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean. Aww. I still believe it, Iris, don't worry. Iris, do you mean... Come on, she's literally the most intelligent person in the entire group by like a wild margin. Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listening to the whole conversation you have after I tricked you all into thinking I left. I love you, Iris. What? The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikotoba are Iris' fathers. Ah, that's a shame. Who the fuck is Iris? Yes, about that, Iris. You know, I know, you can't tell me at the moment, because the plot demands that you hold. Oh, Iris. The pleasant is by way of apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping. Oh, no, that's quite alright. Then why don't I get any apologetic— Shut the fuck up, my dude, you're still keeping it a secret. Who is Iris' father? I suppose that's not something we will be finding out today. We should! There are a person in the room who knows! So then, let us dine while our largely pleasantless plates are still piping hot. A fine idea, Shums. Your owl looks absolutely delicious. Eat as much as you like, there is always second. This could be our very last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. I'll be reviewing the end. I honestly, at this point, I care more about the motivation for not revealing that what it has to reveal. I understand that it's because, you know, the plot demands you hold. You need to stay on the box of mysteries for a little longer before we open it. I can't want to let this opportunity slip away. There is so much to still talk about. Really, it's just Shums. Okay. Come on, let's talk, my dude. So Shums, what are you doing? Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikotoba's refusal to share his pleasance with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes. Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked the pleasant specially for Susie's daddy. Even though I have played the role of father to you for far longer. Mr. Shums, could I discuss some things with you? Certainly, my dear fella. I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. No doubt, you are hungry to learn more of my deep love of game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. We're gonna have the conversation here? You do not look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? It seems that before we discuss the pleasants, we have some rather unpleasant matter to discuss. Here, okay. Oh, and we can present him something. So, how was the telegram we received back from Japan? Ah, this? I think my luck stars arrived in time. Records found as indicated. Duplicated follows. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. Okay. Those 4 names. You come across the exact list before. They came in there forgive. Oh! Oh, that's how. Okay, yeah. The entire. God! I played it in January. God, I don't remember. The entire case about the government secrets that Strongheart was selling and somehow was never relevant. Maybe it was not Strongheart that was selling, but I just put blame on him for everything. Okay, I wanna rewatch some of that case now. What appears to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be a monumental intrigue. A plot involves the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. Exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we decipher a fragment of the message. I completely forgot we did get some of the message. We didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. And a pair of music box discs there. Was that information that has been sent by someone in the British government to somebody in Japan? Jigoku? Is Jigoku the person buying the information? Because if it's not Jigoku, who the fuck would else be? We are not going to introduce another character. So it has to be Jigoku. So Jigoku was buying secrets. So Jigoku was very much connected to Strongheart somehow. Let's keep going. Why are the names coming up now? Yes. Where did the sender of the telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes? I have here the message I have wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Jigoku. Enter Judge Jigoku office undetected and investigate Telegram's records. Expect to find communication from Britain dating 1 year ago. List of 4 names needed by tomorrow. Naruhodo? I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature. You asked oh, I love you, Hosanaga. You asked Inspector Hosanaga to undertake such an onerous task for you? And in my name? I wonder what guise he opted for this time. My dear fellas, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand? Anyway, the list of names was found in Seishiro's office, as Sholmes predicted. Let me look at the way they are organized. Asugi Ashin, because Ashin was supposed to be on the boat to kill Asugi. J. Wilson kill Gregson? No. Asugi Ashin kill Wilson? They are diagonal, so it's not right to left nor up and down. Is Wilson an assassin? But then why Aishin would kill Wilson? No. Anyway, the list of names was found in Seishiro's office, as Sholmes predicted. So you mean the mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was... It was sent to Judge Jigoku. He was the intended recipient. I don't believe it, I do. But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies. I'm not crazy. Oh! It's not... No, Kazuma Asogi. No, his father was Genshin Asogi. Okay. What was Gregson's first name? I don't remember. And John H. Wilson. Okay. No, K was Clint, but that's a different surname. Tobias Gregson. Yeah. I did formulate a hypothesis about that, but without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes, look deadly serious for once. It kinda implies to me that Kazuma could be an assassin sent to kill Gregson, but no, absolutely not. I do not believe anyone but Sashin is a killer. Maybe Wilson, but we don't know much about Wilson. The tragedy we have to go through on the SS Buria. It was all for nothing. Kazuma wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lie you told us. Your great detective lie. I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. Okay. Okay. What? I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan. His remnants, you mean? Remnants? Precisely, Miss Susato. And then I made sure that someone else was sent to Britain in his stead. Because you knew he was Genshin's son. So you knew he was a target for Strongheart, so you have to protect him? Oh, you mean... The agreement between our two countries was already in place. Did Sengoku purposely chose Kazuma to send Kazuma to Strongheart so Strongheart could assassinate him? What university... But Kazuma kinda doesn't know anything about 10 years ago, did he? As a child? No. Oh, but we never found the Asogi papers, so maybe he could be afraid that somehow got to him? One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi, I would successfully prevent the men from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in aid of stopping Kazuma to coming to Britain? That's why you... Think best, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not someone who quite casually urged you to continue your voyage to England? The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. My dear fellas, the majority of the problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. But there is no one else who has the necessary qualification. We know of no other lawyer. Okay, it's a flashback. I don't think we need to see it. So you manipulated me. I'm often remarked on an extraordinary lengths to which friendship would drive a man. I'm often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship would drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friends. I don't believe it. But if that's all... But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was threatened by authorities as murder. Sorry. Oh, a woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose became of her? Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought. Oh my god, my voice is broken today. I seem to remember Miss Susato and I have some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure. I wonder if she made it to America then. Okay, we're just assuming America. Maybe she was already going to America, I don't remember. I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain? The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see. Oh, an omen then at this very moment in time is close at hand. An omen of all tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand. We need to find out. Okay. This justification kinda makes sense to me. So I'm not angry at it. I've been a while since we examined things. The tip of the great sword broken, such a shame. Nothing else in the blade. Do I have to present him with the omen? And the omen was... I don't know. An omen of all directions that already existed a year ago is close at hand. The telegram? There was no room for doubt in your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was the Jigoku officer that should be searched, so you obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found. Okay, Asugi A. Shin T. Gregson G. Wilson. But we... Oh, is this actually a hit piece? Because we need to silence Wilson, we need to silence Gregson, we need to silence Asugi, and Eishin knows too much, so we need to silence her somehow. And Judge Jigoku somehow manipulated the reporter to kill her? We only learned of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appear as part of the top secret government communication that were leaked. That is true, yes, but at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names we wired to Japan around 6 months ago. Before that, approximately to this time last year, in fact, when you were both sorry. Click, and then you see, those 4 names were wired to Japan around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year, when you were still both in Japan. Okay, so it really would be hypocrisy of my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets, because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between British and Japanese government. You are perpetually doing that. How? Never mind that, but you know, don't worry about it. No secret is safe from Sherlock Holmes when he has designs on knowing it. Don't worry about it. Oh my, Mr. Sholmes, what a fabulous line. Now, 1 month after the list of 4 names were wired to the recipient, Jigoku in Japan, Ashin killed Wilson. Yeah, it's a hit list. As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partially corrected and partially mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all tragic events that were to follow. Mr. Sholmes, please tell us all you know. Tell us about the 4 names and the tragedy to which they are all somehow connected. As I said, when I learned of Dr. Wilson murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names because, you see, there was someone else on the list who I believed to be recently deceased. What? Who? Eishin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script in actual fact, Miss Asashin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known amongst London's unsavory classes. Oh, I see. but she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed, and accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 people on the list. Kei Yasugi and T. Gregson. Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asugi were to stay away from Britain and stay on Japan, where Wilson was just murdered. So that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his tour from going ahead? Exactly. So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes? Oh yes, Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I recounted many tales about Asaki to him in my letters, and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course. So, Dr. Wilson is dead then? I didn't know. Oh, Iris. I knew he wasn't my daddy, but still, that's very sad. I'm sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No. But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie with the fact. There is one big hole in your hypothesis. A big hole, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? You mean about Asashin, I presume? Oh, of course. Exactly, she wasn't killed, was she? Oh! But Mikotoba was in that trial, not just Usato who knows. She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Jesali Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fella. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago, in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel. And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I have formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. What topsy? Is it not a hit piece? What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I have believed all 4 names on the list to be of victims. Okay, so you are assuming Kazuma is here to kill Gregson. However, I was mistaken. Very much so, Assassin was a killer. So this telegram is the list of both victims and killers. Indeed, and it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched to Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status will be merely a front. Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions. But the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Atsushi is because he was a target of assassination. And forearmed with that knowledge, a fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list on a very different perspective. What do you mean? Well, does not strike you there is another name among the 4 who subsequently became a visiting student? Wait. But of course, a name you know only too well. You mean Kazuma? He did say in court earlier today. Yes, on 31 of October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. Young Mr. Asugi accepted the mission a year ago now. Surely not. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassination exchange. Assassination exchange! How could Kaza possibly have got involved in something like that? Okay, this is going! Keep going! Let's assume we have 2 parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those 2 parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassins' targets. That would be an assassin exchange. You killed this guy for me, I killed that guy for you. We are happy friends. So to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student in Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange, but what on earth is the point? Don't forget, Naruto, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction. Thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Oh yeah, which means Kazuma would also be new, but I trust Kazuma. Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. But the fact that it was brought into place suggests intervention at the very highest level. Highest level. Are we gonna meet the Queen of England and the Emperor of Japan? Nah. Those murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive, but a contractual agreement. As such, they are apparently utterly unrelated, yet in true, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. The judge from both sides. Why is Jigoku in this mess? What is he doing? That association. Wait, but then. Why did Jigoku help us in the case to innocent ourselves and put Jessali Brett as the true culprit? There were multiple moments where Auchi was like, well, this is the end, you have nothing, so fuck you. And the judge was like, no, we are gonna keep listening to him, he has a point, let's keep going. He could at any of those points have stopped the trial and this would be done. Because he still hates Strongheart, he's not a full ally, he's okay with betraying Strongheart. Assuming they are allies. The association, the safeguard, the diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot. Wait a minute, Sholmes. If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as your suggestion, it would mean that the Japanese killer target was never Sesshoru Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson. What? Kazuma was here for Gregson? Come on, Ryunosuke, come on. Judge Jigoku wasn't actually the target. Yes, that's exactly what it would mean. I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe. So Sholmes, I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Brett, and after she was cornered, Your Excellence, I wonder might I speak with you in private later? I shall call you. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in town, I kinda like a lot of this is making me want to rewatch some of the old cases, just parts of it. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition, that he would transfer into Paris Police, taking Gina with him. Without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. There's this too much to take in. Who the fuck is Iris? And you were the gospel for the verdict. Don't forget to fulfill the mission imposed onto you. I do think... Yeah, I do think there was a line like that. Huh. Yeah, I do. I do need to rewatch some of that case. Oh, this is a fun game to play twice then. Alright, everyone. That is quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time. Quite right, Iris. Who the fuck is Iris? We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. What preparations? We have more Deus Ex Machina to prepare. Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel for now. This has certainly been a night to remember. It's a little bit sad though. I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie would be my big sister. I'm sorry, Iris. Adoption is an option. I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? But if someone like me would be worth it, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Aww. Yes, without question. So, you teach me all the ways you know to throw Runo to the floor? Yes, yes, of course. It will be my pleasure. You don't have to agree so readily. Oh, wait a minute. If Susan's going to be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want to, Runo. Big bro. I mean, yes, of course, if you have me, I'll be gladly be your brother. Well done, Iris. You must always be mindful of feelings. I have raised you so well. Ah! Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Right, I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now, because it's for my big brother and sister. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what? Heh. You will just have to wait and see until the plot demands. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance. I'll do my very best, of course. To be continued? Yeah. So the overnight break in the trial proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths while posing new conundrums. The list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend have somehow become involved. I feel as though I have been plunged into an ever greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I feel sure I would see the light again soon. Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfast behind me. To be continued. Nah, okay. Okay, playing an extra 30 minutes was the perfect idea. Okay. Now this is the perfect endpoint for today's stream. Lots of things to think about. I kinda don't want to believe Kazuma is an assassin. I do want to think it is an actual hit piece, and we need to silence Assassin, but we're still going to use her to kill Wilson first. What is Jigoku's involvement into all this? I still don't know. How deep is the connection between the two of them? I need to rewatch it, at least the end of the first case again. At least a little bit of it. I need to rewatch it. I wonder if there are more clues spread around. We'll see. This is good, especially because I thought we were going to focus a lot harder on 10 years ago, but no, we are going full on Gregson murder first, which is good, because honestly, I care more about the Gregson murder than 10 years ago. He was shot, or someone was shot in the boat. The blade cut the truck. Not sure. We will see. We will see tomorrow. So, as always, thank you very much for watching today's stream. If you want to see much more of my content live, I try to stream on Twitch every day. If you want to see what's of my old content, I try to archive everything on my YouTube channel. And I haven't uploaded like the last 8 episodes of this one. I need to do that. And once again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you will join me tomorrow. Bye.